championship team is back. Kenyon brings it. So Dez Bryant, Cowboy receiver. He's not going to like this segment. And Dez is something I do not like about people. I'm not into needy people. I can't be your social director. If I was a coach, I just don't do needy. Seriously, I needy athletes, just go play. I'll pay you a lot of money. Just go play. And if you're great, I'll pay a lot of money. Dez Bryant said yesterday, the last problem I have is finding a team. That's the last problem I have. And I think the NFL's figuring it out. Wide receivers don't win games, and needy DB wide receivers hurt the growth of quarterbacks. I'm going to give you some numbers to think about. Because when you have this dominating, needy wide receiver, a young quarterback especially feels almost a burden to target him. Here is Dak Prescott without Dez Bryant. Okay? That's week 6 against Green Bay. They won 30-6 on the road, 18 for 27, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Passer rating, 117.4. That was his coming out game. Dez didn't play. I went and found 6 different games, arguably 5 of his 6 best games. In most, Dez Bryant a non-factor. By the way, here is Dak Prescott in his career when Dez Bryant has not played, been unable to play. Oh my. He's 3-0. Completes over 71% of his throws. 6 TDs, 1 pick, and a passer rating of over 116. Oh, we have a trend here. By the way, Dak Prescott came on my show a couple days ago, and listen to him very carefully. Listen to what he says. He's basically telling you that one overwhelming, needy diva wide receiver, I don't play as well with him.
When you don't have a big-time guy or the number one or whatever you want to call those guys, you go out there and you just spread the ball around, and it's not a factor even in your head who gets a catch, who has how many touches. Some of my best games in the NFL have been with 8 different targets or so.
Okay, 8 different targets. Let me put this on the screen. This will be tough for radio consumers. When he targets 8 or more receivers, Dak Prescott is 14-2 in this league. 24 touchdowns, 4 picks. Passer rating over 104. When he targets 7 or fewer, bigger games for Dez Bryant, he's a 500 quarterback with a passer rating mid-80s. It is indisputable. It is non-debatable. It is inarguable. Dak Prescott is better when Dak either doesn't play or is not a significant part of the game plan. It is not arguable. When he has 8 or more targets, he's sprinkling the ball around the infield. He's 14-2. You look at his numbers, he's as good as everybody in this league, including Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Big Ben, and Breeze. Not saying he is, but his numbers are just the same. Needy people are a headache. Needy wide receivers stunt the growth of young quarterbacks. Dak Prescott had the guts to say it 3 weeks ago and had the guts to say it again this week. He's better without Dez, who claimed yesterday, me finding a team is not my problem. You finding a good team will be a problem because the good teams have smarter GMs and they get it. Needy is out. Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Heard on the news. This is the Herdline News.
So, Colin, the fight to put an end to youth football now has a recognizable name behind it. Pretty big one at that. Brett Favre has put his name behind an Illinois bill that would ban tackle football for kids under the age of 12, and he's hoping that the legislation can make it to the national level.
I love this.
He says he has a hard time watching kids play tackle football. He told the Daily Mail, "I cringe. I see these little kids get tackled, and the helmet is bigger than everything else on the kid combined. They look like they're going to break in half. The state level is a start, but we have to adopt this plan and do it together. The body, the brain, the skull is not developed in your teens and single digits." Now, Favre holds the NFL's Ironman record with 297 consecutive starts. but his career came to an end, obviously, against Chicago in 2010 when he was sacked and his head bounced off the Metrodome turf. I don't actually disagree with him at all.
No, I totally agree with him. This has always been my... If you shrink the window of football hitting, the game becomes significantly safer. There is no value. Like in golf, you need to start early. In tennis, you need to start early. There are sports that are so skill-driven. Football is not one of them. There are a lot of guys in college that didn't play high school football and guys in the NFL that didn't play high school or college.
My brother didn't play football until his junior year of high school. Now, he is an outlier. I wouldn't suggest that for most people.
Not the only one, though.
No, but... what a lot of people are doing now, and this is what my brother did with his sons, and what we did with my younger brother also, is put them in flag football so that they can learn the logistics of the game. Yeah. They can learn how to run routes. They can learn the positions and learn the basics of the game without the impact. And it's not so much the kids, because for the most part they do a good job of keeping the same size kids in groups in youth football. It's more about, and this is not a knock to some of the great role models and coaches that are in youth football, but there's no legislation. These coaches are parents or just people who are volunteering. They don't have the training that or the prep that a college or professional level or even high school level coach would know. Like, this kid has a concussion, he can't go back in. There's just no way of knowing. Yeah. So it's very dangerous. So I think that's an interesting push. The super team the Warriors have assembled is something the NBA might try to address in the CBA. I hate this. Obviously, after KD went to the Warriors, critics complained a lot that he broke the NBA and there's no parity. We had Rob Parker on yesterday, and he was screaming and hollering about this. But according to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, he sees things differently. He thinks teams should be rewarded for great management. Here's what he said.
You want to reward great management, and I think right now the Warriors should be praised and celebrated. I mean, you have Steph, Clay, and Draymond obviously drafted. I said the other day, I understand how some people are bothered by the fact that KD went to a team that was already loaded. And maybe that is something we can address in the collective bargaining agreement.
Okay, here's my thing on KD going to the Warriors, first of all. That's the way the NBA is set up. Yep. Be better at managing your team so you have the ability to sign Kevin Durant. People flip out about the Warriors having their quote-unquote super team. They drafted Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. You had other teams in the NBA had the opportunity to get those guys.
By the way, who are the two teams he considered? Boston and Golden State. Well-run teams. He didn't consider Sacramento because they're poorly run. So run your team.
He didn't even take a meeting with the Knicks. First of all, players want to be able to have the movement and the control that they have in the NBA and in free agency. So that's not going to change. However much players may complain about it's not fair or they don't like KD going there, at what cost do you not like it? You're going to give up all of your freedom to move around so that KD and that doesn't happen again? Go beat them.
Yep. Totally agree. Joy Chandler with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
So yesterday, Baker Mayfield came on the show, and it was...